falling, when the average total cost is falling, marginal cost is lower than average total cost. And when the average total cost rise, marginal cost rise faster than average total cost and lies above the average total cost. Marginal cost must cut average total cost when average total cost is at the minimum point. This is for the relationship between average total cost and marginal cost. Macam ni berkata tadi, apabila average total cost meningkat, menurun, ATC meningkat lebih cepat daripada ATC. Okay. Kemudian MC ni akan potong ATC apabila ATC berada pada garis yang paling minimum. Okay. This one is way of for your knowledge and information. Alright, this next is the relationship between productivity curves and cost curve. Cost and production functions are meshed to each other. Where marginal cost and average variable cost in U-shaped form, and average product and marginal product is in the inverted U-shape. Average product is equal to marginal product when average product is maximum, and marginal cost is equal to average variable cost when average variable cost at minimum. When marginal product is at the maximum point, marginal cost is at the minimum point. Okay. Nak faham balik perbezaan di antara production curve dengan cost, production curve and cost curve dengan ini. Konsep dia sama sahaja, di mana dekat production curve kita nak tengok berapa maksimum ataupun marginal product paling tinggi dan juga average product yang paling tinggi yang boleh dihasilkan. Kita nak tengok di mana berlakunya intersect di antara marginal product and average product. So sama juga dekat cost, kita nak tengok di mana cost, marginal cost yang paling rendah dan juga average variable cost yang paling rendah. So bila kita inverted balik dia, sebenarnya ianya nak merujuk kepada pada kadar mana cost yang paling rendah, kita boleh menghasilkan produk yang paling tinggi. So this is the relationship between production graph and cost graph. The main purpose of this, the production curve and the cost curve, adalah kita nak tengok dia punya maximum product that can be produced at the very minimum cost. Production curve is quickly increased to maximum time. Dekat graf ni. Okay. Alright, relationship between different cost concept. Long run cost curve. In a long run, firm cannot adjust their fixed cost. There are no fixed costs, and firm can expand production if there is demand. Okay, untuk long run cost curve, dia tak macam short run. Short run dia mengambil masa time frame untuk satu input sahaja. Tapi untuk long run curve, there is no fixed cost. Maksudnya kalau ada demand, syarikat boleh kembangkan dia punya production. So dia tak ada limit. Untuk long run total cost incurred as a result of products, goods and services in long run. It start from the origin, when in long run only the average total cost is important. That is need to be considered by the firm. Okay. Ini adalah contoh long run cost curve. Yang ni, yang kat luar ni, panjang ni. Ianya adalah hasil gabungan di antara short run average cost. Yang ni yang pertama, ni short run average cost kedua, short run average cost ketiga, dan short run average cost yang keempat. Dan ianya boleh berlarutan sehingga beberapa short run average cost lagi. Ianya bergantung kepada syarikat tu. Maksudnya long run cost curve ni kita nak tengok ataupun kita nak budget or target the next year production. So kita nak masukkan kuantiti kepada kuantiti yang kadar kuantiti yang pertama, kedua, ketiga dan keempat. So ni adalah kita akan tengok pada SSC 1 banyak mana kita boleh menghasilkan output, SSC kedua banyak mana kita boleh menghasilkan output dengan kadar kos yang banyak-banyak. Sama juga untuk SSC 3 dan SSC 4. Okay. Semakin panjang SSC ni, semakin pandai kita kontrol short run average cost kita boleh mendapatkan long run average cost yang lebih rendah. Maksudnya kadar dia akan jadi lebih panjang ke bawah sebelum naik balik. So it's very important untuk satu firm nak tengok macam mana short run average cost ni mempengaruhi untuk long run cost curve dia. Long run average cost is a curve that shows the minimum producing any given output when all the inputs are variable. It derived by a series of short run average costs and tangential points of SSC are joined to make up long run average cost. Firstly, a firm produce a plan relating to SSC1 where the total output is found. Okay, this one please refer back to the graph of LRS and explanation, so you will understand better. Okay, suppose there is an increase in demand, so the firm increase their output to Q2. The firm still able to produce at SSC1, but average cost increase from A to B. Masa ni sebab ada peningkatan demand, so firm akan meningkatkan pengeluaran dia kepada Q2. Tapi kalau firm masih lagi menghasilkan pada SSC 1, dia punya average cost akan meningkat daripada A kepada B. So bila meningkatkan pengeluaran kepada Q2, the firm can produce at a lower average cost at point C by expanding the plant to SSC 2. So konsep dia, bila dia perlu menghasilkan output yang lebih banyak disebabkan permintaan yang lebih tinggi, so dia kena merubah daripada output dia pada Q1 pada Q2, SSC 1 pada SSC 2, dan berteruskanlah pada 3, 4, 5 sampai berapa banyak. Okay, so ni adalah konsep dia. So dia unlimited. Dia tak ada sampai SSC berapa dia kena stop. Right. When the firm intends to produce as Q3, the firm can choose either to use SSC2 or SSC3. But SSC3 will be a better option because of a lower cost incurred. In the long run, firms select plans which give lower average cost. Dalam long run ni, macam mana pula syarikat akan mengambil kira untuk menghasilkan output pada kadar average cost yang paling rendah. Okay, LRSC is U-shaped because of law of return to scale. Law of return to scale states that if the firm expand its size or its scales of production, is LRAC, we initially decrease but finally increase. Okay, the relationship between return to scale and the LRAC is as follow. We have increasing return to scale, constant return to scale, and decreasing return to scale. Sebagaimana kita dah bincang sebelum ni. Dan this LRAC is U-shaped due to economy of scale and this economy of scale. Okay, macam mana economy of scale and this economy of scale? Economy of scale is the benefit and advantages of a firm as it become larger. Benefit and advantages yang firm akan dapat apabila dia semakin berkembang besar. It can reduce the LRAC. There are two types, which is internal and external. Economy for the internal economy rise to the action of an individual firm, such as labor kita pakai yang dah specialized. Management, you are employing a professional for doing the management task. Marketing, buy raw material at cheaper rate. You have improved technology in the technical terms, and for the financial, you are easier to obtain loan. For the external is advantages of the industry as a whole. Government actions such as infrastructure, di mana government membagi akses yang mudah, contohnya macam jalan atau pengangkutan. Concentration, one industrial area. Maksudnya tak adalah kawasan tu ada kepadatan yang terlampau tinggi untuk produk yang sama. Information, cooperation between firms. Marketing, about purchase of raw materials. This is for the external economic to scale. This economy of scale has the problems and disadvantages when the firms become larger. It increase the LRAC, which is also two, which has internal and external. For the internal, this interest and burden of labor. Labor dah tak berminat nak bekerja, mungkin sebab bekerja terlampau lama. Management problem, difficult to manage large firm ataupun pengurusannya ada tak mampu untuk menguruskan syarikat yang lebih besar. Technical difficulties when machinery is overused. Maksudnya dah tak ada mesin ataupun tak ada pertambahan mesin yang lebih bagus ataupun lebih besar untuk menguruskan pengeluaran yang lebih tinggi. For the external is scarcity of raw material. Raw material susah nak dapat. Wage differentials. One firm pay higher than the others. Yang ni mungkin ada company yang sama, buat kerja yang sama, membayar gaji yang lebih tinggi. Kalau dalam Trivago, mengapa bayar lebih? Kan? So, dalam industri pekerjaan, you akan pergi ke syarikat yang bayar lebih tinggi. So this one is bring to this economy of scale to the firm yang bayar gaji lebih rendah. Concentration problem, terlampau banyak perniagaan yang serupa atau sama pada profit is RM 5. Changes into the last task for chapter 5, and please submit all the tasks to me and they will get right. Alright, okay, so thank you so much.